you. I see you. All right, if you're just joining me, please tell me where you're watching me from. We're live and it's Tuesday. Amen. 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 If you're just joining me for the first time, tell me where you're watching me from. I'm playing Amen by Timi Dakolo, in case if you're wondering. Good afternoon, Ruth Baba. I see you. Amen. Amen. While we're waiting for you to log on, please, if you can see me, tell me that you can see me and tell me where you're watching me from. Amen. 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 Good afternoon, Fortune. Hi, Joker. I see you. All right. Okay. So I usually would like to start just 2 minutes, 3 minutes. After, if you're joining me for the first time, please tell me where you're watching me from. I see you, Uju Abafo. Hi, Uju. Good to see you here. I see you, Joker. I see you, Chizuba. I see you, Fortune. I see you, Yadas. I see you all. All right. I want to also use this opportunity to say thank you. Thank you for the many birthday wishes. Oh, I'm still overwhelmed. I'm still trying to respond to the birthday wishes. Hi, Pali. I see you from Maryland. Okay. Thank you so much. Fumi Lola, I see you. Thank you, everyone watching from everywhere. Just tell me where you are watching me from. And if this is your first time, just put hashtag first time. My name is Wendy Ologe, all right? And I'm the founder of the Intentional Parent Academy. Chidima says, I'm still feeling myself. Oh, yeah, I am. I am still feeling myself. All right. Thank you, everybody, for celebrating me. Thank you so much. If I haven't been able to respond to your wishes, just know that it's not intentional. Well, I'm just trying to, in fact, I felt like hiring someone to come and do this, right? But hey, trust me, it is absolutely well appreciated. I don't take any of that for granted. The wishes warmed my heart. I was, consistently hounded with a lot of those wishes. Thank you so much. I thoroughly enjoyed my birthday. It's like a 1 week thing, right? So up until yesterday, I still had things coming in, from different quarters. I am pretty very much grateful, and I do not take that for granted. All right. So if you're watching me for the first time, all you need to do is to tell me that you're watching me for the first time. Hi, Julia. Thank you so much for coming here. Hi, Precious. Thank you for being here. And hi, shout out to my team. Thank you for all the good job you do behind the scene. Even though I'm the one that people see, I know that you do so much. Thank you for all you do. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. So today I can see my mom. Hi, Mom. Today we are looking at 10 positive. Oh, mommy, you had to say hello from Owerri. Hi. All right. So 10 positive solutions to creating a yell-free home. Hi, Omolola from Australia. I see you. All right. And today we're talking about yelling. This month is our month of yelling, right? This time last year, I actually launched a book called From Yelling to Calm. And From Yelling to Calm is, that book was my journey. From Yelling to Calm is not another person's story. It was my journey. What happened to me, how I walked to myself, how I moved from that yeller, a chronic yeller, that to someone, that can now tell you, no, you don't need to shout. No, you need to be calm. Sometimes I look at myself, I'm like, oh, wow. So yes, it is possible. very possible to create a yell-free home. One of the reasons why we started this conversation was because someone even tagged me, and there was a lot of controversy. How can you say that we can wake up in the morning and we do not have to yell, right? And it's even very interesting how we think that these things are not possible. Hi, Azike, thank you. These things are not possible, and it creates a lot of concern, especially in the system, right? That we are trying to actually push out there. Now, the concern is, if we think with all the negative effects that yelling has, and we're still seated somewhere and we're saying, no, I don't need to yell, I don't need to stop yelling, it's not a big deal, I just need to keep yelling and all of that. And in two Tuesdays ago, if you're on YouTube channel, you can find that class where we actually share on the effects of yelling. There are chronic effects of yelling, and I tell you, it's important for us to understand that it is real. It can actually make a mess of both your child and yourself. So if we're saying that you need to move from being a yeller to being a calm parent, we're saying that it is important to be able to work on your other parts of your parenting, right? And beyond that, it's also important because it helps you as a parent to actually be able to parent even more effectively. Hi, Mora, and hi, Ugu from Ochinwe, Ugu from Owerri. Again, if you're just joining me for the first time, just put hashtag first time watching you. And if you're catching replay, for those of us who will catch replay, just put a hashtag replay. Okay, thank you so much again for joining me as we go through this journey. Today we're looking at 10 positive solutions to creating a yell-free home. This class is going to be hot. I already can feel it. Yes, I'm still in that mode. All right, so tag your friends, put your book by your side, get a pen and a paper. I don't share valueless classes. This class is loaded with a lot of values, right? And again, if you're on YouTube, you can share the link with people. You can not share link on Facebook, but you can tag your friends, your family. Parenting is about the village, right? All of us need to get it together. When you get into a room, one of the things that you see when you get into a home is that everywhere, many of the homes, you see irritation, you see people yelling, you see people shouting from all angles and all of that. But you know something that is interesting. Have you ever gone into a home and you see, a lot of calm and all of that, and then you also see, how that home is progressive and how you also want to remain there, peaceful and all of that? There's always a difference. Now, I have seen parents who say that it is not possible for me to wake up in the morning and not scream while we are actually doing stuff, as when we're actually preparing for school. And many of the times, that really worries me. So you see nagging, you see irritation, you see everybody being grumpy, especially in the morning. I'm going to share more about this. When you yell, your children either shuts down. Someone help me put that in the comment section. When you yell, your children either shuts down, become defensive, or they yell back. Three things. So you're yelling at your child actually shuts down. Now, one of the things that yelling does, of course, like I shared in that class, is that yelling shuts down the learning center. So the amygdala gets shut down and your child begins to operate at a below higher functioning skills. I shared on higher functioning skills last week. If you didn't catch that, you can catch and play. And your children begin to operate on that. And for a lot of us, we're fine. So we look at our children and you see that your child has actually shut down. You're actually yelling, you're screaming. The child has shut down and we are not even thinking that this child is not there with us. There's no impact. But you find out that you're continually doing, that, and then that, just continues. Yes, your child shuts down. your child becomes defensive, or your child shouts back. These are the things that happens when you yell. Hi, big sis. My big sis is here, but I can't open the share, ma'am. For private group, we can't share. We can only share from the YouTube channel. The private group is not enabled to share. You can only tap people, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. That's my big cousin. All right. And like I said, your children either becomes defensive. Now I've explained shutting down. Let me explain becoming defensive. So while you're yelling, your child is actually not listening. What your child is doing is that your child is just trying to say, no, I didn't do it, no, no, no. And then that is happening. Your child is not listening to what you are saying. So yelling actually makes your child become defensive. So because it's as if you are accusing the child. So the child is constantly trying to, remove themselves from the whole, scenario, trying to not just be there. So the child shuts down, or your child becomes defensive, and then the third one, your child will yell back. Now, a lot of us will say, no, who is that child that will yell back at me? If your child doesn't yell back now, if your child doesn't yell back now, the child will yell back later. I will explain. When your child becomes 18 or an adult, your child will begin to think that the only way to resolve issues is actually to yell. So when you speak, your children will want to yell back. Even think about it. There are a lot of us who grew up in a yelling home, and right now, when their parents are speaking, they shout, you just feel, I just need to shout back, because I now have my freedom, in quotes. That doesn't make it right. Either way. So I know that a lot of us will want to say, no, how can you say my child will yell back? Oh, your child will yell. If your child does not yell back at you, your child will yell back at others. Now, that is one of the most disturbing things that I have seen about yelling, the circle that it brings. Now, if your child doesn't even yell at his siblings, let's say that your child doesn't have one, your child will yell at their children. So the circle just continues. So your child either yells back at you, or yell at their siblings, or worse still, they yell at their children. It becomes a circle. I told you when we were starting that I used to be a chronic yeller. So if I tell you that yelling, you not yelling at your children is possible, I am speaking from a place of experience. So it's not just what I have read, it's also what I have experienced and been able to, teach other parents what to also do. All right. And is it possible? Yes. My mom is watching me on this broadcast, and my mom didn't have to yell. I don't think I've ever had her raise her voice. Funny enough. And people who know her can attest to that. So does it make a child useless? All right? No, it doesn't. It doesn't make a child useless. It just helps your child understand how to communicate. Something happened today, and when my team members came backstage and said, Coach, how do you cope with people being petty, people trying to just talk to you anyhow, and you are sane, maintaining, being polite and all of that? It's years of practice. If you allow people to get you to a point where you have to yell, then there is a problem with you. I shared a post recently on our Facebook community, and I said, if you need to respond because you feel someone hurt you and you need to scream, respond, drag, and all of that, then you have a problem that you need to deal with. Very many times we don't even understand that, and we do not want to agree. The question today is, how do I begin to build this environment, this solution? How do I begin to create a yell-free home? One of the things I would tell you today, the number one thing that you need to know to be able to create a yell-free home is to take responsibility. if you do not take responsibility for being a yeller, you will struggle. Somebody put it in the comment section. Take responsibility. That's the first thing that you need to do. Number one, take responsibility. Decide that today, we like to, I was saying in the last broadcast on Tuesday, we like to lie to ourselves. I was asking the parents in the inner circle, ask yourself, do you think that this thing that you're doing is giving you results? If it's giving you results, then that's fine. Is that the result that you want? The way we are parenting, trying to fight through and all of that, is it really, is it really giving you the results? Louisa said, if mommy didn't hear, what did that? Oh, my dad was a yeller. My dad was a yeller. Louisa, my dad, thank you for that question. And I'm sure he's listening to me right through mom. My dad was a yeller. So I picked it up. Let me tell you something about, yelling, about negative, reflective parenting characteristics are reflective. So you pick onto the negatives easily, very easily. So I actually picked that up, from my dad. All right. So a lot of the times, if you tell yourself that you want to take responsibility, you see things moving. But I have seen a lot of us, you share things like, oh, you can stop yelling. You see people fighting. No, I can't stop yelling. Oh, I love myself yelling. Oh, I love to yell. And I'm like, really? Really? You love to yell? Nobody loves to yell. Trust me. Nobody loves to yell. You yell because you do not have solution. You do not have solution. If you have tools and solutions, you will not have to yell. Your yelling comes out of frustration, out of not knowing what to do again. So you just take onto the yelling or you hit, which are the two things that I keep saying. You are hitting your child and yelling because you don't have alternatives. Have you ever seen someone who knows what to do and then they go doing the wrong thing? A lot of the times, or who have tools to do, what they need to do. Now, many of the times, there are people who know what to do, they don't do it. But many of the times, there's always a gap of the tools to use to do what they need to do. Nobody likes to yell. Nobody likes to yell. So a lot of the times, yes, yelling is an indication of incompetence. Oh, yes. So when you find yourself yelling or hitting your child, it means that you are lacking something. Parenting is a skill. It's not fight. Don't fight it. Parenting is about what you have to give. You cannot give what you don't have. So if you find yourself, struggling with yelling, struggling with hitting your child, there is a lack. You need to deal with it. You need to deal with it. So when you keep yelling, it just shows that, there is an incompetent thing that you would need to deal with. So ask yourself today, have I even taken responsibility for being a yeller? Now, that is even the biggest challenge that we have. And we say things like, it's not my fault. These children drive you nuts. That is you not taking responsibility. Now, let me say this. When you discount yourself from the process of parenting, that is a failed system. Because what you have done is that you have removed yourself from that whole thing. See, no one can, I told the parents in the inner circle that if you're not ready to participate in your own rescue mission, nobody can help you. You need to tell yourself, I want to try. So no matter what it is that you hear and you're not ready to participate in your own rescue mission, you will fail. That's the truth. And at that time, you will say, oh, these things are not working. Oh, you need to learn to take responsibility. Tell yourself today, I'm going to take responsibility for my parenting journey. I'm going to take responsibility for being a yeller. When I realized that I was a yelling addict, I took responsibility. Oh, you don't know half of my story. Oh, I prayed. Oh, I screamed. Oh, I jumped up and down. But you know what? At some point, I told myself the truth. This isn't working. There has to be a better way. I can't parent with a lot of, anxiety, palpitation, jumping up and down. Everywhere is chaotic. Everything is, everything is everywhere. I'm constantly fighting. If you're constantly fighting, complaining, nagging, then it is a problem. You have a problem. You need to deal with it. And until I sat back to say, this is about me. That's why I learned parenting is about you, not your child. They are my words. I told them to myself first before I told it to the world. I told myself first that this journey is first about me. I stopped making excuses and I got onto it. And I said, I need to do something about where I am now, right now. And you know what? I was able to rescue myself and I have a better relationship with the children. And I also have peace of mind. People say I laugh too much. Yeah, I have peace of mind right now. So much peace. And that was where I came to the conclusion some few years ago that parenting with peace and calm is possible. So when people tell me I just have to keep yelling, it scares me because I don't yell at my children. I don't beat. I don't flog. Yet my children's what's it called? School teachers, are constantly here trying to learn how they can do things better. I am an official parent coach for the school itself. If there is no success, tell me nobody is going to listen to me. Everybody that I know, family, friends, are right in the program in the inner circle. That means they see my children every day. That should tell you something. The difference is not that my children are perfect. The difference is that I decided to take responsibility for my journey. So today, commit to taking responsibility for your journey. Number 2, you need to learn consistency and firmness. You need to learn consistency and firmness. If you're consistent and you're firm, there's a lot of things that you would just be able to actually walk through. It is laziness that is making you yell and hit. I've said this over and again, and I am unapologetic about it. It's because you don't want to learn. If you open up your mind to learn these tools, you will have no reason to actually yell at anyone or even hit anybody. There's no need. You must learn consistency and firmness. Where intentional parenting strives on consistency. When people come to me and say, what is intentional parenting thing? So, because you're not yelling at your children, you don't beat them, they're going to be useless. Who said that to you? Have you met my children before? Who said that to you? How do a child become useless because you didn't yell at them? Come on. But I have seen people who have even yelled and yelled and yelled, yet there is no result. You are just lazy. You're being mentally lazy. You need to actually tell yourself, I want to do more. How do I begin to learn? If I don't have peace of mind, believe me, I can't teach you. I can't be here every Tuesday at 2 p.m. up here. I'm going to get frustrated. I'm also parenting like you are. So it's not like I have finished my parenting journey and I'm here, sitting down, sipping milk. No, there are a lot of things that I'm still battling with. So you must be able to be consistent and fair. Another thing that you must do is that number 3, you must create routines. You must create routines and structure. That's one of the reasons why you're screaming, yelling, screaming. A home without routines and structure rely on negative discipline because discipline is structure. Someone help me write that. Any home without routines and structure will rely only on negative discipline because positive discipline is structure. So if you don't have structure, it means that you're thriving on the negative discipline. Part of the things that that can actually help you. Abiodo, thank you for that. That actually help you on this journey is your ability to structure. I tell you something. When people say what is discipline, discipline is not about shouting up and down and beating your children. That's not discipline. If you are at that point, you are still very far. Very far. I said that again. A home without structure and routines will rely on negative discipline because discipline is structure. So you must create routines and structure. So structure is one of the biggest, things that can help you not to keep jumping up and down. I tell you a very vivid example. How do you beat a child that when you get home, everywhere is, looking okay, food is on the table? Why do you need to beat the child? Or why do you need to keep screaming? Structure and routine. How do I create structure in my home? Well, time will not even permit me to begin to talk about structure. Is a whole full module of the No Yelling Challenge. All right? We will teach you in that challenge how to actually create structure. Your home structure is dependent on many factors. Your home structure is dependent on many factors. So it's not even something I can begin to talk about right here in this session where I'm going to say, oh, you need to teach. But in that No Yelling Challenge, we're going to be, teaching parents how to actually create structure, because that's one of the things that will make you not to yell. So creating structure. So if you want to be part of that No Yelling Challenge, you can actually put No Yelling and you will have response from my team to be able to register. All right. I would also share more details about the No Yelling Challenge. It starts on the 1st of April, but in 72 hours we take off the early bird offer that is on that class, because we have tried. We were supposed to take it out before my birthday, but I was cajoled to leave it till 22 hours from now. We take out that offer. So if you want the No Yelling Challenge, that offer is 4,999. It means that after this, it jumps to 9,999. That's 50% off. You don't want to take that for granted, all right? So we'll be actually teaching how to create structures, routines, and all of that. Because let me tell you some of the factors that will help you to create structures. Your child's learning style. I'm sure many of us do not even understand what a learning style is. Your child's love language. I'm sure many of us do not know the love language of the child we are parenting. Your child's family, your family value, right? Your family value will help you see, the things that that the structure that you're supposed to even build. The culture, your family structure. When people say not everything works for your family, not everything, they are right. I'll tell you how they are right and how they are also wrong. Now, they are right because every family, every child is peculiar in their learning style, their love language, their temperament, and all of that. So you need to actually be able to create the structure around all of these things I have named. Now, they are wrong because what they do not understand is that life strives on principles. Parenting is also part of life. So there are principles. It is the methodology that we're saying that you can carry out individually. The principles are the same. I was studying how a lot of the world powers were raised. Same principles, different methodologies. So don't get it twisted. It's same principles that we're teaching. But for you to actually be able to create your structure. So people come to me and say, how do I create a disciplinary structure in my home? I tell them simply, nobody can actually create a disciplinary structure without understanding how their child learns. Sounds complicated, right? That's as far as it goes. Parenting is big business. It's a big deal. I like the way I say it. Parenting is big deal, right? So we will actually be able to put all of that in the No Yelling Challenge. So if you want to join the challenge, just put No Yelling Challenge, and my team will reach out to you to be able to make the payment and go ahead with that. But what does structure bring? What does structure bring? Structure actually, brings about better behavior. When you have structure, you have better behaved children. Trust me, it is giving anywhere. You have better behaved children. You have less tantrum. Oh, yes. So all the people that say, oh, my child is always throwing tantrum, blah, 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 and all of that. If your children are throwing tantrum because you don't have structure, and you're fighting discipline because all you have heard is beat them. When they do it, just beat them. That is not a solution. Your solution is in your ability to build structure, and that's what discipline is about. Do you know how long I've been able to sit on this chair every 2 p.m. on Tuesday to deliver these classes? That is structure. That is what discipline is about. And if you raise a child who do not have the appropriate discipline, that child can't thrive in any business. So you need to actually begin to, begin to tell yourself that, okay, there are a lot of things that I need to deal with. Being able to create structure helps better sleep. All right? It helps better sleep. Being able to create structure helps to transition better during the day. I can't get into my house and yell. How? How do I want to do that? There is structure given. And when there are mistakes, there are tools to use, which is part of what we're going to be teaching at that, no yelling challenge. Somebody is asking example of home structure that work. I can't even give you a structure for your home. You would need to come and learn the basics for structure for you to be able to create the structure in your home. If I give you my own structure in my home, it might backfire because your children are not my children. There are a lot of things that you need to look out for. And that's part of what we're going to be teaching. We haven't done the no yelling challenge in this way ever. Ever. We have never done it like this. It's coming differently with a different module and all of that. All right. So it's a whole lot, Wisdom Portal. It's actually a whole lot for us to be able to. So if I give you off on top of my roof, it might actually look like, I'm just mumbling a lot of things together. And for you to also build structure, there are a lot of learning processes to it as well. I have done this for 10 years, building a structure that is currently working in my home. If I come now and just tell you, oh, this one works, you're going to think that is magic. And once you get me, say, oh, it's not working. That's the next thing you're going to come up with. So to avoid you coming up with that, you need to come and learn what works for you, and then you create that. Now, you need to identify your family fire spots. Somebody put it in the comment section. Identify your family fire spots. All right? Identify your family fire spots. Now, different families have different fire spots, which is also why your structure is going to be different. So there are different family fire spots for every single one of us. All right. So Oluwakemi is asking me, how do I figure out the kind of structure I use in my home? I need to teach you the rudiments. All right. And I have decided to teach it as an extra class in the No Yelling Challenge. It's not part of that class, but we will teach it as an extra class. Identify your family fire spots. Then every family have their fire spots. Some family, for instance, their fire spot is bedtime routine. That's when it happens. There are different fire spots. I'm also going to be giving the examples in the No Yelling Challenge. I am not able to actually do this here because I am already running out of time, and I need to also do other points that I have listed here. And I gave an example. An example is bedtime routine. That can be a fire spot in your home, and it's not a fire spot in another home. All right. And we'll be sharing all the different kinds of fire spots in that No Yelling Challenge. But these spots, they are when you are most vulnerable. All right. Yeah. They are most vulnerable, right? Louisa. Louisa said, I'm sharing things for the inner circle to parents out here. Yes, I'm in the mood, but it's okay. All right. So these hot spots are when you are most vulnerable to triggers. Right? You are most vulnerable to triggers, and also this is also when it's most likely that misbehaviors increases. And as I just defined it, your family fire spots are when you are most vulnerable to triggers, and also when most misbehaviors increases. So that can help you actually be able to identify, when am I most vulnerable? When is it that misbehavior increases? It could be anything. And this will differ from family to family. We will share more on this at the Know Your Lane Challenge. And at the challenge, we will also teach you how to tackle each of these hot spots. So each of these fire spots, no matter where family it is, whichever family it is, we'll be able to actually show you how you can look at the fire spots and say, okay, I can put this together and put, yes, dinner time can be a fire spot in your home. I can put this, so this is what you can do during all of that fire spot, while it happens in your home. But you need to actually be able to identify it. Another thing that you can do to be able to create a yell-free home is to move your yellow meter from 7 to 3. Time won't permit me to also, define or give you the different stages of yellow meter. That is also one of the things that we're sharing at the No Yelling Challenge. We're going to break down the yellow meter and teach you how to move your yellow meter from 7 to 3, where you will be able to actually begin to, use less of your voice and actually be able to use more, of the tools that you have, right? So you need to actually be able to create that. Okay, so it's important that you understand the yell meter. The yell meter is a whole full session, all right, and we will be, doing that on one of the days, creating the yell meter, how you can move from yellow meter 7. When I was there, I was at 7, raging hot, and it was one of the places I moved from to yellow meter of 3 and less. And that is actually where you can parent to be able to create a yell-free home in your home. Another thing that you can do to be able to create a yell-free home in your home is self-care. I see that a lot of parents are actually always frustrated. All right? Always frustrated. You see a lot of the people, and a lot of parents, they are frustrated. You're giving so much. When you give and give and give, and you're not able to actually feel yourself. Now, when we talk about self-care, we're talking about your mental care, we're talking about your body care, we're talking about, everything about you. It could be reading, it could be watching a movie, it could be anything. I see a lot of parents not being kind to themselves, and there's no how you're going to parent without yelling if you are an unhappy parent. Self-care is key, absolutely key to this journey. So create a self-care routine that will help you. We'll also share some of the how to care for your mind, your heart, and create passions as well at the No Yelling Challenge. All right. So that is also part of what we're going to, look out for. Right. Another thing that you can do is to show more attention. Create more attention for your children. Right. Create more attention for your children, because your children, the more attention you give them, right, the more they are able, right, to also behave in quotes. So a child would constantly seek for attention. If you don't give attention, your child will go to any length. Negative attention is more important to a child than no attention. So your child misbehaving is negative attention. And your child is actually going to drag you to it. And until you begin to even give negative attention. So for them, negative attention is okay, is important to them. It's more important than no attention at all. So part of what we do in the inner circle is to create a system where give your children attention daily. Daily is important. You give your children attention daily. So when you give them attention daily, it's actually very difficult for them to just, do whatever it is that they want to do. So when you give attention daily, you just show more attention, connect with them. Unfortunately, what we do not understand is that we cannot just connect with our children without tools and without actually bringing ourselves to it. Many times what we do is that we come at the connection table without tools. So people say, I'm there for my children. Are you really there? If you're there without tools and connection, then you're not there. A lot of the times people say, I'm there. Sitting down and your children are watching TV and you're pressing your phone is not you being there. It's not you being there. So part of the things that we do in the inner circle is to get you involved. We get you involved to the core. We make you jump. We make you do things with your children. And that's part of the things that we do. And we hold you accountable to it. All right? So that also will help you reduce a lot of the screaming, a lot of the things that you do in the house that create chaos. Another thing that you need to do, all right, is I said I'm sharing 10. The ninth one is you need to work on your emotions. You need to work on your emotions. Your emotions are key. If you find yourself reacting or your emotions failing you at the time, I think I said that in the inner circle match back this morning. If you find yourself reacting negatively to your children when they do something wrong, your emotional intelligence is low. You need to work on that. You need to work on that. So you find yourself, you scream, your children are not the reason you yell. You are the reason and you have the solution. I've been saying that for a long time now. And these were the words I told to myself. Like I said, these are not just, it wasn't just about you out there. It was first about me. So if I'm telling you that it was first about me, then it is me coming on the table to actually share this with you. Work on your emotions. Your emotions can make a mess of your whole journey. When you ask me about intentional parenting, I tell you that the first thing you need to do in intentional parenting is work on your emotions. Because your emotions is actually the bedrock for parenting. If you don't get it right on that end, then you will continue to struggle. No matter what it is that you hear here, no matter what it is that we share and say, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that, you will fail. You will find yourself failing. And lastly, oh, wow. So sorry about that. Okay. My stand went off. All right. And lastly, the last thing that you must note is seek help. Find help with your yelling addiction. A lot of us have not even agreed that we have yelling addiction. Somebody sees you, yelling, and your children tell you things like, Mom, you're yelling. You say, I'm not yelling, I'm just trying to correct you. Just trying to correct you. You are addicted to yelling. And you need to actually tell yourself the truth. And you need to now find help for your yelling addiction. If you do not find help for your yelling addiction, you are going to remain there. Just like every other addiction, yelling, strives on ability to actually make your dopamine rise. And when it does, it gives you this trigger. You finish yelling, you're like, I shouted on them. I shouted on them, seek help. I was there where I was wishing that I would stop yelling. Your wishing would do nothing. Trust me. Your wishing would do nothing. Your prayer will only work if you have knowledge. You need to actually tell yourself, the Bible says that my people perish for lack of knowledge, not lack of prayers. So you can actually, say, oh, I just need to and all of that, and your children will even tell you things like, Mommy, you're shouting. You say, no, I'm just trying to correct you. That is you being an addict. That is you being a yelling addict. I've been there. I have been there. All right. So please seek knowledge, seek solution. I've been privileged to not just work on myself as someone who used to be a chronic yeller. In fact, I was having a conversation with my younger brother, right? And, he was like, remember those days you used to yell, eh? Oh, Lord, once you enter, we just clear. I didn't even know that that's what was happening. They were teenagers then. And I just get into the house, the atmosphere just changed. I'm just screaming everywhere. No, you did not. For me, it was me trying to organize the house, trying to put things together. I tell you something. It was just me going mad without knowing. I'm being addicted to yelling and telling myself as I get addicted that that's how I am. That's how I am. I actually used to say all those things. Or I say things like, no, nobody can really parent anybody without yelling or beating anybody. So when people say, oh, you need to spend the road, that's what I used to be a champion, a champion of some of those things that I see on the group. And hey, trust me, that's why I started this journey for parents because I saw myself at that point. You become like an alpha and omega without even knowing that you're just making a mess of yourself. You don't even know. So when they tell those stories now, they say, mommy before, mommy of now, as in, it makes me laugh, right? It makes me laugh. My first daughter say, mommy, I'm the one that was at the bridge, you before and you now. And many times when I just look and I'll just say, mommy. So I'm just sharing this to tell you that it is possible. But it's only possible if you take responsibility. What I share at the No Yelling Challenge is my journey and what I have shared with over 2,000 parents on their journey. And I tell you, they have had tremendous results. So I'm not just sharing with you what you go and get on Google. Somebody met me last week when I did my birthday bundle. And she had bought into the bundle, and then I had been teaching them about learning style, the parents in the inner circle, and we have a guide called the learning style guide. And she came and said, "Oh, I want the learning style," and I bought everything. And then she came back to me and said, "Coach, do you know what? All the while I've been googling, looking for all of these, researching, but when I read, there was something different." It didn't come from Google, but there was a way you actually, put it all. What I share with you is not Googleable. Like I say, what I share with you is not Googleable. It's inspired. Many of the things that I share with you is inspired. It's inspired from above, and really, I just want to also show you some of the things I have learned on my journey. So the No Yelling Challenge is actually for you if you find yourself in any of those things that I have actually shared. And you need to begin to seek help. If you want to join the No Yelling Challenge, I left the early bird offer for 72 hours. I left this early bird offer for, excuse me, for 72 hours. So, but after 72 hours, we take it up, all right? That challenge starts on the 1st, all right? That challenge starts on the 1st of April, but in 72 hours, we take it off. So just put in the comment section, if you need help, trust me, I can help you on this one. I've not just walked the journey, I have also had parents that I have held their hands and walked on the journey. It's a journey, it's not a one-time thing. There's nothing I have shared on this broadcast today that's going to give you any, give you one access and just blow you and then you begin to do everything. You will get frustrated because there are gaps. One of the things that I have seen is that we learn things and we don't learn the tools to fill in the gap. And if I tell you today, oh, you know what, just stop yelling, stop beating, no tools, you're going to have a vacuum. And life abhors vacuum. So your children are also going to struggle. You would also struggle. So if you want to be part of the No Yelling Challenge, all you need to do is to put No Yelling. As of today, and in the next 72 hours, that challenge is 7999. Sorry, 4999. All right, you can see my brain is even telling me that it's not supposed to be at 4 anymore. It's now 7. Okay, 49999. This is the cheapest. This is the lowest we have launched this challenge ever. If you ask anybody who's been in the academy, we're running this academy for over 3 years. The first time we launched it, we did 15,000 for parents, and I tell you, it was oversubscribed. So even at no matter whatever time it is, trust me, this is a total giveaway, right? So if you're able to register and if you're able to come into I'm going to show you the tools we use to actually fill in the gaps. So if you want to be part of the No Yelling Challenge, all you need to do is to put No Yelling in the comment section. No yelling in the comment section. And then please mind you, we already have almost 200 parents in that challenge. We are taking only 250 parents. Yep, that's what we're taking. I can't even guarantee you that after today we're going to have spots to take because we want to be able to take, and in fact, the original size for the no yelling challenge was only 150. By the time we saw the rush, we let it be, and then we did an extra 100. And as soon as, hi Cindy, and as soon as that is over, right, we will shut it down and then we'll launch again. When next we're launching the No Yelling Challenge, you are going to be paying 15,000 naira, and really, it's still worth it. It's still worth it. This is just me. It's my anniversary this month, it's my birthday this month, and I just said, when they were saying, oh, coach, this is very low to launch, that was my team. I said, no, don't worry. We're going to launch it. I just want as many people as possible to get this yelling thing right. Because I know that yelling has become a big challenge to a lot of us. And I see a lot of us saying things like, it's not possible, I can't do it. Just come into the challenge and I'll show you how. Just put into the comment section, no yelling challenge, or no yelling or course, whatever it is that you want to put in the comment section, and my team will reach out to you, and then we will take it from there. But I tell you that one of the biggest things that I have learned on my journey, I haven't seen questions, I'm waiting for questions. Please, if you have questions, please do help me put it in the comment section. I will respond to any question that you have. It doesn't matter on what, all right? So one of the things that I have learned, on my journey is to be able to create tools for parents. And it's a strength for us. It's a strength in the academy for us. So in this No Yelling channel, we're going to be creating workbooks for you. We'll create, structure, routine, and workbooks for you. We will create the fire hotspots, your family fire hotspots for you. We're going to do a whole lot. We're going to do a whole lot. It starts 1st of April, and once it takes off, right, and it's just, going to take off. And like I said, time we're going to have that challenge at this amount. Yelling challenge. My team is already responding to you to give you details. But like I said, if you do not reach up, we have just 50 slots to go. We already have almost 200 parents in that challenge, and we don't want to get overwhelmed. We want you to actually be able to do that. I don't know if we're going to do another batch on this stream, but I tell you, that's as much as we can carry. So the next 50 persons will make payments, get into the class, and that will be it. All right. So Nkiru, yes, somebody's asking a question and said, how do we join the inner circle, please? They will send you a chat. You will need to join a waiting list. The inner circle for 2021, the inner circle for 2021 is closed. However, you can book a spot for 2022. So you can reach out to me. My team will send, my number for you to reach out to me, and then I would give you details and everything that you need to know. But you can't get in for 2021. You would need to hold on for 2022. And already we have over 500 people on our waiting list for 2022. And we have a maximum number. We don't even take more than that. So it means that there is a whole lot of struggle. How do international parents pay? For the No Yelling Challenge, if you want to make payment for there's a link. We have a link that can take any payment from anywhere, right? Dollar, USD, GPD, GDP, whatever it is currency that you're paying in, that link actually takes you to be able to make payment. If you're in the US, if you're in the UK, South Africa, wherever you are, you'll be able to pay. That link takes more than 5 different currencies. So if you put No Yelling in Tapi, my team will respond to you with that link, and you would have all the details that you will need. My question, please, how do we work on our emotions? Since that's the bedrock of everything, Princess, you will need to actually work on becoming the emotionally intelligent parent. Now, part of what we also would do, right? Part of what we also would do in And that challenge is to build you templates that can help you start up your journey till when you can, begin to actually work. How can a parent, an emotional mother, help an emotional daughter so that she can be better? You need to guide your child. You need to guide your child. One of the things that you need to do is to work on your own emotions first. Because, like I always say, parenting is about you. Okay, parenting is about you, and it's important for you to know. To YouTubers, I'm coming on those your details. I will answer. Right, parenting is about you, so you need to work on yourself. Better. How can a flag mother work on herself enough to help a flag son to be motivated and to be developed? Talking about temperament. That's part of what we're going to also put in place at the challenge, right? In fact, right now in the inner circle, we're reading How You Act the Way You Do. That's our current read for inner circle level 1. And it's just on temperament. We're learning. So when we do this year, How You Act the Way You Do, we'll do next year how you can build your child's temperament. But while we're doing that, we build a lot of stuff for the parents in the inner circle. The first thing you need to do is to work on yourself. Work on yourself and look at bring out the weaknesses that you have in your temperament and begin to work on those weaknesses. So your temperament is more about your weaknesses than it is about your strength. All right, which is one of the things that we are working on. All right, someone said, I think you missed a point. There are 9 points noted. Pressure, so sorry. Work on your triggers. That's the 10th point, right? Work on your triggers. You need to work on your triggers. It is important, right? Very much so. You need to work on your triggers. If you're sending me a chat directly, I'm still on here. Our class ends at 3 p.m. I would respond to you, right? But if you want to be part of the No Yelling Challenge, all you need to do is to put No Yelling in the comment section and we'll reach out to you. If you want to join the inner circle, what you need to do is to reach out to me, right? All you need to do is to reach out to me for me to give you the details. But we're closed for 2021. There's even a lot. If you join in now, you're going to get overwhelmed. The parents in there are already overwhelmed, as it were. So, you just be patient. By next, but I'll give you how to book a slot, and then you can wait for your slot. By October, that's when we're going to start the next registration for 2022. That's when we are starting next registration. I can't see Precious, I can't see any question on YouTube. Yes, that's the 10th one, working on your triggers. All right, that's the 10th one. And part of what we're also going to be doing in the No Yelling Challenge is to help you identify your triggers and how you can work on them. The truth is, the No Yelling Challenge is a 10 days, like a 10-day full course. That's what it's like. It's like a 10-day full course. It's like a 10-day, different things from different angles, courses everywhere, different things. We're going to share worksheets. We're going to share, different things that you can create. So if you're looking for how to create structure, get into the No Yelling Challenge. If you're looking for how to work on your triggers, get into the No Yelling Challenge. If you're looking at how to actually deal with the hot spots, the fire spots that you have in your home, get into the No Yelling Challenge. The No Yelling Challenge is your answer. Trust me, the result you will have at the No Yelling Challenge would make a huge difference on your parenting journey. All right, you'll be glad. In fact, all the people who have joined the No Yelling Challenge have been recommended, their family members, their friends, and their family. All right. I don't think I can see any other question. All right. I can see that there are payments already being made for the No Yelling Challenge. I can actually see, the payments as they come in. Please, mind you are going to actually my team, and then we will add you to the class as we go. You get all the details. All right. I don't think there are other questions that I can see. Nothing more. On YouTube, let's scroll through and see. Then she said, 9, work on your emotions. 10, seek help. If someone should help me with the point, I'm okay. Precious, I think I've said that. All right. We need to learn. Yes, I said that any home without routine and structure will rely on negative discipline because discipline is about structure. Okay. So if you want to be part of that challenge, Just put no yelling in the comment section and we will reach out to you. If you're catching a replay, you can put no yelling in the comment section and we will reach out to you. All right. This class starts on the 1st of April. So when you register, we will reach out to you. Um, we already have a lot of parents in that class who's waiting. Right. We have a lot, on the waiting list. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. Somebody's asking me. How do you create structure? If you're on YouTube and if you're on YouTube and you want details of the No Yen challenge, please check description of the video. There is all the details for payment is there. Video description of this video on YouTube gives you access to that. All right. Ntapi, you've been responded to. Just look at that response from my team. You will see the link for you to make payment. I hope I pronounced your name well. All right. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Frida said, always looking forward to this Tuesday class. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for always being here. Thank you, everybody. Again, if you want to be part of the No Yelling Challenge, just put No Yelling and you will get details for you to make payment and be part of that class. Thank you again and again and again and again and again. And see you again next Tuesday. It is 3:02. See you next Tuesday at 2 p.m. I really love to also come here all the time, all right, to share with you. Thank you, and you have an amazing day.